What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing the Chicago Bulls and the recent release of their preseason games. We've got 5 games to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, in preseason, and ultimately it's still a little bit ways away, so it's all fine and good, but I want to talk about the schedule. I want to talk about what I like about the schedule and what I don't like about the schedule and everything in between. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not you believe I guess the preseason is a good thing for the Bulls. I guess the schedule, I should say. And do you like the schedule? Who would you rather face? Whatever the case may be, right? But before we get into that, I think you guys can probably tell by my voice, I'm actually sick again. It's actually bizarre how, I'm genuinely nervous about how often I'm getting sick. If you guys are unaware, 2 weeks ago I got sick. Last week I got sick and I took time off for both of those respective things. And this week I'm sick again. So it's one of those things where you're sick for 2 days, then you recover like you're just completely a brand new person, and then a couple days later, you get sick again. And I don't know what it is. I definitely don't need to go get it checked out. But I just want to explain why my voice sounds the way that it does. But I'm not taking any more time off. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I don't care how bad I sound. Like, I love to make YouTube videos, man. I literally love to do this. Even if it's a hobby, even if I don't get paid from it or hardly get paid from it, I don't care. I like to do it. And I don't want to take any more time off. I want to keep on talking. I like the sound of my voice. I don't. But still, yeah, so if I sound awkward to you guys, that's why. But no more time off, man. I don't care. I do not care. Unless I literally can't breathe, I'm not taking any more time off. So, hopefully you guys understand. I understand. Let's move on. Let's talk about the preseason. So, firstly, we got to mention the preseason is in September. So, we still got a whole month. It's the 1st of August for me right now. Actually, it's the 2nd of August for me right now. The 1st of August for the United States. Regardless, a whole month. A little bit over a month. Until we get to see the Bulls finally play in their pre-season games. So that's a bit of a downer. But we're going to start off preseason with the game against Cleveland, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be facing Cleveland in our first preseason game. What sucks about this game is that it is going to be away from home. So unfortunately for the Bulls, you don't get to start off any of your preseason in home territory. Now, the reason why I like home games, especially at the beginning, is because fans do miss the Chicago Bulls. They will miss, I guess, not seeing some of these players. They will miss the action. And I think everybody's eager to get back into the United Center and to watch the Bulls play some basketball. It looks like we won't get to experience that. Cleveland will get the opportunity to experience that first. But ultimately, I like the test. By the way, I'll give you a spoiler. I like the test for all of these games. The reason why is that if you want to actually have a good season for the Bulls, you need to face the best. Cleveland, sure, they're not the best, but they're a competitive team. And I want to face all these competitive teams and try to, I guess, try to be the best that we can be at the end of the day. Especially in preseason, you have to figure out rotations, minutes, sets, everything in between. So it's a difficult time, but a challenging time, but also a time to try and get things right. The next game will be, I think, 4 days later against the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, as far as I'm aware, I don't know if Ja Morant will be playing in that game with the Grizzlies. I don't think he would, considering his preseason. He might be back for the regular season. So this might not be the best competition we could face, but ultimately a Western Conference team, that's usually a difficult outing right there. And we're going to be playing at home in that one out. So we're going to see our fans finally return to the United Center. I expect that to be somewhat at capacity because, again, Bulls fans are very loyal. They love to go to the stadium. Doesn't matter how good they are, how bad they are. It's usually always packed out. It's usually always filled to the rafters. So I expect that to be the same in preseason. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, it should be exciting to see them finally return home. Then, 2 days later, we face the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, we always face Milwaukee in the preseason. I think the reason why that is because this is considered a rivalry game, and Milwaukee and Chicago are not away from each other at all. So it just makes sense to have each other face each other in preseason. It's as simple as that. The distance, the fact that it's a rivalry, speaks for itself. Don't really have too much complaints there. Ultimately, in a rivalry game against the Bucks, you always want to be the victors. But again, it's just preseason. We will not get into the wins and the losses as of yet. The game after that will be against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Again, we're talking about a team that was... were they part of the... I think they were part of the Western Conference Finals. They were against the Dallas Mavericks and they lost. So again, talk about a tough challenge. We're going to be going up against a really stacked Minnesota Timberwolves team. Last but not least, we're going to be facing the same team twice. No, it's not Minnesota. We'll be facing Cleveland in our last preseason game on the 18th of September for, of course, people in the United States. This will be at home. And I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of this last game just because... Again, it's preseason. I don't want to verse the same team twice. I just don't want to do it. I get it. They're in the same conference as us. I get it. They're in the same division as us as well. So, of course, from a distance standpoint, from a division standpoint, yes, it makes sense to face Cleveland twice. It makes sense to face Milwaukee. But why couldn't we face the Pistons or any other team in the division, any other team in the conference? Facing a team twice, like, that's a bit boring, to be honest. At least, thankfully, it's at the beginning and at the end of the preseason. It's not like we're versing them in a back-to-back. I think that sucks as well in preseason if we verse a team back-to-back, even if it's not in consecutive days. Regardless, it is what it is. And still, a competitive team in the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, that's the preseason. Again, it's all here for experimenting. We've got a young team. Should we be playing a different style? Can we experiment and can we achieve? Let me know what you guys think about the preseason in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a follow, like, and or subscribe if you are new. And I will see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.